Okay. Despite my previous videos, or maybe because of them, you have decided to move to Ecuador. But you need to take some first steps. This is just my take on it. I know there's some others who have the same take on it. It's really for the best. So sit back and let's talk about some do's and don'ts about your first visit to Ecuador. Number 1, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is your minimum. You need to be here for at least 2 weeks to absorb even a little bit of the flavor. What do I mean by flavor is how does your flavor mix with Ecuador's flavor? Because Ecuador's flavor ain't going to change. If you can change in response to Ecuador, it might work out. Number 2, have a plan. And then have a backup plan. What do I mean by a backup plan? I mean things are going to not work the way you want them to. Ecuador is just stuff happens, crazy stuff happens. Stuff that probably doesn't happen to you too often if you're coming from Canada or the United States or Europe. Things happen. Buses crash every single day. I don't recommend riding the bus. If you have to, you have to. Not my favorite thing. But yeah, you really need to have a plan and a backup plan. Oh, I was going to go to Cuenca, but I can't get to Cuenca because, I don't know, all the roads to Cuenca are closed. Could that happen? Absolutely. I was going to stay on the coast, but there was a whole bunch of violent stuff happening, and maybe I don't want to stay there. Maybe I don't want to stay in Guayaquil. Maybe I don't want to stay in Manabí. Maybe I want to go to Salinas, which I do recommend, even though it's in the red zone. But we'll talk about that. Plan, backup plan. Go with the flow. If you can't go with the flow, I'm not sure how your trip is going to work out. But go with the flow. If you can go with the flow, if you can have a plan, a backup plan, and a backup to the backup plan, you'll be in good shape. Or if you can go with the flow and you can react really quickly on your feet, again, you'll do well there. Number 3. What is number 3? Okay, this is about money. Ecuador is not as expensive as where you're probably coming from. If you're coming from Canada, the United States, Europe, Ecuador is not as expensive. However, there are some monetary concerns you need to think about. First of all, you need to make sure that you have an account of some kind. For instance, I'm going to use the example of a Schwab account, right? A Schwab account will pay you back for ATM fees because the ATM fees here are stupid. They are like $5, $3.56, $2. I think the cheapest that I've seen is $1.50, and I almost never see that. And you're going to need to go to ATM machines somewhat often, not because you need to get a lot of money out, but because the ATMs run out of money rather quickly. Bring cash with you. Absolutely. Bring cash with you. Do not bring a $100 bill. You can see Don Shader, who is Grumpy Gringo on YouTube. He did a great thing saying, don't bring $100 bills. Nobody can cash these damn things. Even you. Even if you show them that, this is absolutely a $100 bill, they don't want it. Even the banks don't want it. $20. $20 bill is the highest denomination you should bring here. I highly recommend stuffing your pockets full of 5s and 10s. 5s and 10s, beautiful thing to have here. I wish every day I had more 5s and 10s. Dollars, they have $1 coins here. You'll get those in change all the time. They're useless in any other country, but they're great here. What else? Do not bring a lot of expensive crap with you. Now, I don't mean crap. Don't say it like that, Matt. I'm so ridiculous. I'm just dark sometimes. Don't bring expensive clothing, expensive flashy jewelry, expensive flashy electronics. You don't need to bring your iPad and your Mac and your high-end camera and your drone. I have seen every single one of those things stolen. Okay? And I know you're saying to yourself, well, I'll be careful. I also said I was going to be careful. I am a careful guy. My wife would disagree, but I am. I'm a careful guy. I got stuff stolen. Not high-end flashy stuff, thank goodness. Oh, no, wait, I take it back. I got a cell phone stolen the first week I was here. The first week, 3 days in, I got my cell phone stolen. Totally my fault. But yeah, don't bring those things because they're going to be like an anchor around your neck. You're constantly going to be worried about them because you should be. Just don't bring them. Don't bring them. In fact, get yourself a crappy used cell phone to bring here. If you're going to be here on your first trip, just get a crappy used cell phone. Put a chip from here in it or one of those worldwide accounts. I think there's one called Sale or something like that. I'll put it down in the description if I find it. But yeah, the less expensive stuff you bring here, the more free you will feel to truly explore. What else we got? Use the expat groups. You should, honestly, that should be your very first thing you should do. Before you even plan a trip, go in the expat groups and just read them. Read them. Don't ask a bunch of questions yet because we're all used to everybody asking a bunch of questions and we will absolutely answer them. Some people will get snide and snotty about it, but hey, that is what it is. The thing is, these people are probably still here and they've been here for years and they have seen some shit. They will tell you all about it. But also, all of your questions are going to be in previous posts. All the answers to all your questions are going to be in previous posts. Some of them have even a files section where you can go and learn all about it. I also highly recommend other YouTubers. Don Shader, he's a grumpy gringo. He's highly informative. There's JP and Amelia. They're good. They tell you some stuff. They want to sell you some stuff, but they tell you some stuff. Use them because it's extremely helpful. And there's usually one for like every city. So maybe think about the cities you want to go to. Check out these groups. Expats Salinas, Ecuador. Where else? Oh, what is it? Expats Ecuador. Yeah, they're based in Cuenca, of course. By the way, most expats in Ecuador, they live in Cuenca because it is like the literal perfect average of good things. It really is. It's not on the beach, but it's kind of warm. But it also gets cool, and it's a really pretty place, and it's relatively safe, and yeah, stuff like that. Anyway, let's move on. What do we got? You should travel and plan your travel to multiple cities. Don't just go to one place. No, I went to one place. I'm a bit of a unicorn. This is where my family is. So this is where I am. But if you're considered living here, you should see all that there is. And you might say to yourself, but Matt, geez, how much different could it be? This country is tiny and it has a crazy amount of variety in the places inside of it. All right. You've got the coast, which is like, living in the Caribbean, right? And then you've got a little further down the coast where it's like, holy crap, it's like living in a jungle, which means it's hot as hell and very humid. Anyway, there's also Cuenca, which is kind of up in the mountains a little bit, and it's cooler, and things are a little more like the Andes, And then you got Quito, which is up in the freaking clouds like Mount Olympus. And I'm not joking, man. You could go up into the clouds. It's for real. And it's a very interesting place, very beautiful place, very ancient place, like just amazing stuff. But these are all very different places. I can't even explain the differences. You want to go see that. Trust me. What else we got? If you're going to be here for more than a month, which is great if you can do it. If you can do more than a month. It all depends on, hey, you want to spend some time figuring out where you're going to live maybe the rest of your life, I think it's worth a month. I think it's worth at least a couple weeks, but a month would be good. But if you're going to stay here for a longer period of time, you should probably get some health insurance here. They have the IESS here. Don Shader talks about that too. You should check him out. I would say go with private health insurance if you are coming from the United States or Canada or Europe. The socialized healthcare here is not. It is not what you know. It is not the same. And you should definitely consider paying for private health insurance. I pay $55 a month. That is not a lot of money for private health insurance. And I already know a doctor. I already know a clinic. I already know where I'm going if something happens to me. Something already happened to me. See that right there? See my Harry Potter scar? Yeah. And worked out really well. Gave me 3 stitches. You're out the door. Should have been 5, but okay. Anyway, let's talk about the next thing. Concept of time. Ecuadorians are lax about time. And, you may say to yourself, well, I don't like it when people aren't punctual. That's your value system. The value system here is a little bit different. Punctuality has got a different definition here. When an Ecuadorian says, I'm on my way, it does not mean they will actually arrive ever. So they may call you 2 hours later and say, hey, not going to make it. Or they may never call you at all. They're just going to just not show up. So things like that, if they make you angry, know that it's going to happen and chill. Have a backup plan, figure it out, and you'll have a good trip. However, you should also know that everything here is negotiable. And when an Ecuadorian sees you, there's a very good chance you may get the precio de gringo price for something. For instance, let's talk about the cab ride from the Quito airport to the city proper. It is a very long ways away from the city proper, the airport. It's about $25 for 4 people and their luggage to go to the city proper. Can you negotiate that? Yes. Should you feel bad about negotiating it? No, absolutely not. Don't feel bad about negotiating a price. All right. You're not going to do it in a supermarket, obviously, and you're not going to do it in a restaurant, probably. But hey, if you're getting a service, if someone, definitely taxi rides and stuff, there's set prices for this stuff. Again, this is why the Facebook groups are great. They'll tell you what these set prices are. And if somebody in a cab, if a taxista tells you, oh yeah, if you want to go to Quito proper, that's $40. Just look at him like, psst, precio de gringo, and then walk away, and then he'll be more manageable. He'll be better about it. My wife goes to the extreme. My wife is like the best negotiator ever. She's Ecuadorian though, so it's okay. All right, what else we got? In the interest of safety, one of the don'ts that I would definitely recommend, and it doesn't matter where you are, is I wouldn't travel at night. Right? If you're traveling from city to city or something like that, if you're traveling in the city, I travel at night sometimes, but from city to city, no thanks. I'll just stay in a hotel. If it's dark out and I hit the Quito airport and I'm going from the airport to downtown Quito or something like that, nah, you know what? I'm staying at the Quito airport. There's a nice little hotel there. Is it expensive? Compared to North America? Nope, not expensive. Not expensive at all. It's okay. There's several of them. And just, go spend the night, chill out. Use that Ecuadorian time, man. Just chill out. No need to travel at night. No need to tempt the danger of traveling at night. It's just not necessary. Just my advice. Up to you. Now, here's the best piece of advice, okay? This is because you are going to be meeting a lot of officials and police officers and customs people, things like that. Be pleasant. Even if you don't speak Spanish, everybody knows what a smile looks like. Okay? And smile like this. Gracias. Thank you. Just say gracias a lot. You know? Don't get mad. Don't be impatient. This is coming from Mr. Impatience, okay? I have learned so much patience living here. It is unbelievable. But don't get mad. Just be smiling. Look like nothing bothers you. Things will go a lot better for you. And when you get angry, especially if you don't know how to speak Spanish, a lot of these people are going to shut down. In fact, they're probably going to shut down on purpose and not help you at all because they don't need your crap, okay? You're coming to this country. They're not coming to your country. So anyway, I think that'll help you out. I'm going to find some more things, and I might put them into the description. Let me know what you think about this, and let me know if I missed anything, because I definitely did. I missed a lot of stuff because this is a huge topic. But this is all about your first trip to Ecuador, to see if you really want to move here. Talk to you later.